Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Hello to all you good folks out in Brownsville, Tennessee on 1520 AM, 95.3 FM. How about Jackson, the 101.5, News Talk 101.5, and, of course, all of our families and all the people that listen to us here in Memphis on ESPN 790 and 92.9 HD FM. And I tell you what, I wanted this guy. I didn't know if I'd be able to squeeze him into it, but he's one of our all-time favorite guests. I just can't believe what's happened to this man in the last 18 months. I know if he didn't know he had, I bet he's got more cousins now than he ever thought he had. You know, they want
he has
some money.
a lot more relatives.
Yeah, he has a lot more
of.
relatives probably than he wants to. But at the same time, this guy believes in his family. He believes in veterans. He's got baseball players in the family and everything like that. But he's also only the fourth person to win back-to-back in the Bassmaster Classic in 51 years.
That's right.
And, hey, Cherry, when you hear that, what goes through your mind?
I don't know. It's an honor. It's a class to be in that only a few guys have ever reached. I mean,
yes,
there's only a few of us that actually have won the trophy one time. So to win it twice, it's just an amazing feat, and I'm very proud of myself.
And back to back, and I know we talked, and we won't go over who picked who. That me and Ron and Samantha Gay. We won't talk about that because I've already talked to Hank about it off the radio here. But we will talk because a lot of folks, and Ron was there covering it for Outdoors with Larry Ray, and you can find all of Ron's pictures on lroutdoors.com. Most of the guys in our preview show, Hank, we had 5 of them on there. And they were all saying 60 pounds. What, Ron? Around 60?
Right around 60 pounds.
Yeah.
But it seems like the bad weather on the second day of the tournament kind of hurt a bunch of the guys, but it really didn't hurt you, Hank.
Let's talk about it, Hank.
And how did you make the adjustments?
Yeah.
Well, everybody that guesses on those weights, they're just, you're just taking a guess of where you're at the time of year and this, that, and the other.
Yes, you do.
But the second day with that thunderstorm, it really cut the best part of the fishing day out.
Yes.
I mean, it cut it all the way out, and it had some guys spinning in the parking lot, and, I don't know. I didn't get too uptight. I didn't get real worried about it. I actually fell asleep in my truck waiting on the storm to get by.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just, I just knew I was there to do a job. They still got to be there. I mean, I just had to catch them a little different way.
Yes.
And I ended up getting them to bite the jig the second day, and I got off to a big start with those 2 big ones, and then showed out my limit with a jerkbait, and I was pretty happy. I was pretty confident going into the thing, knowing that I had the dam and that I could catch some out there on my jerkbait, and I knew nobody else was paying any attention to it, so that was pretty confident. And
also, before Ron gets technical with all the different colors and the names of everything here, but COVID, you really, a lot of folks, that knocks you for a loop, Hank. I mean, my pastor at my church was in the hospital 28 days with COVID, and he's 48 years old. Now, we're not going to tell how old he is, how Hank is, but he's not quite 48, okay? But coming back from that, the strength it takes for all like that, and the mental attitude that you had to go through, this has to be adds on to the accomplishment, because a lot of folks, they don't know what's going to happen once they go through what you went through. So talk about going through that and coming into 2021 and what's happened now.
Well, when I got COVID last year, I had to leave an event. So it was almost like I didn't fish the event. So I had to fight back through that at the end of last year, just to get back in to the classic field and double qualify. But it was hard. It was hard to gain my strength. It was just weird getting back because I was always tired, but my family was here with me, and we took our time. Luckily, none of them ever got it.
Okay.
Lots and lots of Liquid IV. That's what I tell everybody.
Really?
Lots and lots. They're not a sponsor, but they make a product that hydrates you and keeps you hydrated, and that's one of the most important parts.
Yeah.
When you're going through that. But it was just I never quit.
Never quit.
Working.
Yeah.
But I knew each day when I was getting kind of to my limits.
Yes.
As I was coming back, and I didn't try to overdo it, and I stayed the course, and
the good Lord protected you, man. I mean,
he did.
Yes.
And swinging around through this year, I haven't had really a whole lot of issues left with it.
That's great.
But that heat we dealt with down there in Texas was just
that was brutal.
Overwhelming.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
It really was. Talk a little bit to our listeners, Hank, on the specific baits you were using and your rods that we're using, because people want to say, "Wow, he was so." You were so good at catching fish under adverse conditions. These are things I want to try to do. Tell our listeners.
Well, I'll just kind of give you a little rundown. The jerk bait was my brand new jerk bait by Berkley. It's coming out next month.
Right.
It's called the Berkley Stunner.
The Stunner. I saw that. I looked that one up. I love that name. Yeah, I wished I would be the name. I wish I could name lures. That was always what I wanted to do. So, all right.
But it was in stealth. It was in the color. It was called Stealth Shad, which in the market or the industry.
Okay.
It's similar to a chartreuse shad. It's just an all-around good shad imitator.
Yeah.
I was fishing it anywhere from 6 to 12 foot deep on the edge of the dam.
That's what Ron said. Yeah.
And I had it on a Zeta baitcaster from Abu Garcia. It's a 7-1 to 1 reel. 15-pound fluorocarbon and a 610 winch jerkbait model rod.
Wow.
Yeah. He knows what he's got. I mean, he knows what the equipment is. Again, we're talking to Hank Cherry here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Not only the 2020 Bassmaster Classic champion, but the 2021 Bassmaster Classic. And he's walking us through this because you got a lot of publicity, Hank, on a certain quote about the dumbest bass you've ever caught in the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. He came the third day.
He came the third.
I made an adjustment and switched with another rod to different line with a lighter weight and a smaller plastic crawl, and I actually pitched to a bush, and my bait kind of ricocheted off the bush instead of really going through it. And this fish swam out of the bush and ate my bait. And then swam back to the bush where he was supposed to be.
Right.
Then
when I jerked on him, he swam back out of the bush again, straight to the boat. So,
oh my gosh! So it was meant to be, man. I mean, that's the way it is to overcome the heat and everything like that. And I know the relationship here, North Carolina did really well in this tournament.
Yes, they did. Matt Airy
and Matt Airy was sitting up in that chair. I've watched it, and then here you come along. You and Matt are really close, and you said something about Matt on the stage that really was impressive to me. Relate to our listeners the relationship with you and Matt, and knowing what he was probably going through, and you've already been in that chair before. Talk about that.
I'd been where Matt was before, and when he weighed in, I was still 4 anglers back, but I knew that I had him beat. But I also knew that I'd been in that position before.
Yeah.
And Matt is a good angler. I've known him for 20 plus something years.
Yes. Yeah.
And his time's coming. He's going to win one.
Yeah.
And like I told him last night when we were doing his show, he's just got to use what happened there.
Yes.
To light the fire even more, and his time will come.
It will come. And we had him on in our preview show, and he was talking about there's a mutual respect here, that we don't have in other sports a lot of times. It's a group.
I will tell
these guys work together. They want to beat each other, right, Hank? You want to win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've got relationships in this thing.
It's a fraternity.
Yeah, yeah. And to be a part of this for so long, and the obstacles you've overcome and things along that line, you've already told us you're going to be pretty busy. You're pretty tired right now. And I know that the mental part of this, but you have a real solid backing in your family, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'm invested a lot in my kids and what they want to do. My son and his sports career, and he likes to he goes straight from baseball to basketball, back to baseball. He hasn't convinced his mom yet to go out and play football, but he still works on that every fall.
And that's Christian. That's Christian, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Christian. He's a handful. And then my little girl Bella.
Yeah.
She hasn't quite picked exactly what her direction is going to be.
I don't know. She may be talking you out of that right now. You can't ever tell your wife, Jacqueline.
Well, I have to tell you, Jacqueline,
the family
and the
was
kids there
sharing it. It's just a family thing when you see that.
How important is that to have your family supporting you and being there at not only the Classic but a lot of the events, Hank?
Oh, it's very important. Anytime that they can come, I love to have them there, but especially at the Classic. It was great to have them there to be able to share that moment. We may never get it again. We may get it in 7 months. Who knows? But,
yeah.
I mean, that's just memories for a lifetime, and hopefully that's memories they can share with their kids later on down the road.
Well, I tell you, Hank, we appreciate you being with us, Hank Cherry, and
congratulations.
He's already talking
again.
7 months. He's looking to March.
And I'm looking forward to seeing him at Lake Hartwell.
Yes, yeah.
First week in March there, and Hank, look forward to seeing you.
It won't be
there.
99, Hank. I can tell you that.
No,
okay?
And I hope it's not.
I'm hoping it's more like 40.
40.
I hope it's not 19 like it was the last time.
I don't
they
want
were
19, but 40 would be perfect.
That's
I'm
right.
writing that down. Hank Cherry, 40 degrees, what he wants next March. Hank, thank you, buddy, for being with us. Continued success. You got a lot of fans in the Memphis area, even when you did before you won, but now we're really fired up about you. So have a great one, okay, buddy?
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hank Cherry.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're going to talk about an event that is big time in Memphis area, the St. Jude Bass Classic. We'll be right back.